Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
All right, folks, this is a bittersweet moment. I never, ever, ever love to see the Giants lose. In fact, I hate to see the Giants lose. It hurts to see the Giants lose, but sometimes you got to sacrifice for the greater good. And I don't think the Giants lost on purpose. Some people have the theories that the Giants are doing things and pulling strings to lose on purpose. I doubt that's happening, but the Giants fall 20-17 to the Carolina Panthers, the worst team in football, the worst defense as far as yards goes in football, the most touchdowns given up in football. But as a result of that, the Giants have the number one pick in the NFL draft. And I feel good about that. I feel good about that because we need a very big change at the most important position. And something that can really mess us up this year is if Daniel Jones goes out and beats some of the worst teams in football this year, and we end up with the number 4 pick and we miss out on our quarterback. So the number 3 pick and we can't move up. We absolutely positively cannot afford to not replace this quarterback with a rookie. We just cannot afford to lose this opportunity because this team is starting to get better. We got Andrew Thomas out. We got Kayvon Thibodeau out. We got a couple of guys out right now, but this roster is slowly getting better and better and better. And we're very close to being in quarterback purgatory. Whether Daniel Jones is here next year or not, we were very close to not being able to get a game changer at the top of the draft that can really make us a contender when this team gets to be one of the better rosters in football, which I think they will be, because we've got the left tackle. We got to figure out the corner. We definitely have to figure out the corner because Deonte Banks right now is struggling. And maybe if a guy comes in and he's cornerback 1 and Deonte Banks is cornerback 2, he gets some of that confidence back. But we've got it. We got the left tackle. We got the edge rusher in Brian Burns. We got the best defensive player in football. I don't care what anybody says. Index. We got Illuminor playing good football. We got JMS playing better football. We got serviceable guards. We're going to continue to get better there. We got some pieces. We got Andrew Phillips playing well. We got Newman, who's been struggling, but I think he has some good upside. We got Malik Neighbors, of course. We got Wan'Dale Robinson, who's a solid guy. He's a solid third option, but you got to get better there. We're going to get better on receiver. Theo Johnson is looking like a promising tight end. Tyrone Tracy has stepped in nicely. So we have some pieces all over the field. And as this roster continues to get better, we cannot afford to not upgrade at the quarterback position. So we have the number 1 pick, barring what happens with the Patriots soon. They could very well lose and get their number 1 pick back, but they're not going to take a quarterback anyway. So at the very least, they're a trade partner for us. Now, Tyrone Tracy, you fumbled the ball away. You fumbled the game away. He was loose with the ball a couple of times today, and he fumbled the game away, plain and simple. But I'm not mad at Tyrone Tracy because when you look at this game, a big reason that we were in this game is because Tyrone Tracy had a great game. I mean, he had over 100 yards again. He had a touchdown. He had some game-changing plays in this game, and we needed it from him. We needed those plays, and if we didn't get it, we wouldn't even be in that game. So he's got to secure the ball. He's got to have that ball tight, close to his body, especially in traffic. But we can absolutely not go out there and just be piling on Tyrone Tracy, which I don't think anybody is. I haven't seen that. If anything, people are celebrating him because he secured the tank. But Tyrone Tracy, you'll bounce back. Giants fans love you. Just keep balling out. Don't go out there and overthink things. You've been secure with the ball for most of the season. So just go out there, secure the football, keep running hard, keep doing what you're doing. Nice game from him, like I said. I know y'all are going to be coming to talk about the Giants defense today. At the end of the day, the numbers don't lie, folks. The numbers don't lie. If I can pull up the stats here, the numbers do not lie at all. If I can pull up the stats, the Giants defense gave up 17 points today because I don't count that last field goal because you gave them the ball in field goal range. I mean, you gave them that. You gave them a field goal. So we won time possession by 7 minutes. 306 total yards isn't crazy. 118 passing yards is fine. 188 rushing yards is unacceptable. But essentially, you take a look at it. The Giants had 24 first downs to the Panthers 15. Um, the Giants defense forced a turnover. They got a sack, about average, and they for the most part they contained this Panthers offense. They didn't really struggle. It's not like the Panthers offense came out here and put up 25 points. They essentially gave up 17 points. So I know we gave up a ton of rushing yards. We gave up some crucial plays. But at the end of the day, this defense played well enough to win this football game. They did. That's just not debatable. The quarterback had 126 total yards. They had about 300 total yards. So this was not a situation where the defense was so bad that the Giants didn't have an advantage. Because I could point out multiple third downs, one being a flea flicker where Daniel Jones had two people open, another being a Malik Neighbors comeback where the ball just sails over Malik's head, another being, I'm forgetting it now, but we've seen a couple plays. Oh, the Theo Johnson play where the ball is behind Theo Johnson and it gets swatted. So we've seen some third downs where we could have extended drives even more, and we just weren't able to come down with it. Gano missed a kick. So that kick that Gano made at the end of the game should have been for the game win. Should have been the game-winning kick, but he missed the kick. So the defense, while they did not look pretty, it was not exciting. They played a good enough game to win this game. That's where my story is, and that's where I'm sticking to it. Now Daniel Jones, as I touched on, I mean, where do I go, man? I mean, his first interception wasn't really that bad. He just kind of had to get the ball around J.D. Clown, and he couldn't. The ball got tipped. Ball got intercepted. That's fine. We got in their territory so many times and we couldn't capitalize because of misreads, because of turnovers. The second one, egregious, in my opinion. In my opinion, it was egregious because when you take a look at it, Tyrone Tracy, you're throwing the ball to him, behind him, on a third down and long. So he's your check down and you're throwing behind the check down. So Tyrone Tracy has to reach back here to try to catch the ball, and he drops it because he's reaching back there and trying to run at the same time, and it gets intercepted. So my thing is Tyrone Tracy has to catch the ball. Sure, absolutely. But why are you throwing it behind your check down on third and long? That just didn't make sense to me. So 2 turnovers. The common denominator, Daniel Jones. I'm sure some people will find a way to squeak out of it and say, it was none of his fault. He would have won this game 30-0 if it wasn't for his teammates letting him down. But listen, Daniel Jones, he had something to do. Those 2 turnovers weren't all his fault, but they were questionable decisions. When you put the ball in that sort of situation, it's in harm's way. It doesn't always get intercepted, but it does sometimes. The ball was late to Malik Neighbors, laid him behind again. He had to go up and get that ball, almost got a concussion. Thank God Malik Neighbors didn't get concussed again. That would not have been good at all. Thinking about the rest of this, let's just shout out some players, because at the end of the day, we got the number 1 pick. We're excited about the future. Jalen Hyatt made a couple of nice plays on some stop routes in the clutch. So I was happy to see Jalen Hyatt go out there, have fun, get that 22-yarder, get those couple catches in the end of the game, and draw that huge pass interference penalty at the beginning of the game, and we couldn't get points out of. But nice to see him do that. Theo Johnson had a couple of clutch catches, and those two, if they can keep on ascending, that's going to be crucial for the future of this team. We need both of those guys to really step up, because if they can, we're going to be putting together a really good offense next year. Brian Burns said he was going to be, electrifying. He said he was going to really stand out this game, and he was going to be going all out. And he was all over the field. He was pressuring the quarterback consistently. He was getting the hands there. I think he tipped the pass. He was all over the place. He was chasing guys down the field, 20, 30 yards downfield. So shout out to Brian Burns for doing his job, fighting against his former team and doing everything he could to win the game. Just couldn't work out. Just didn't work out. So Brian Burns did his job, but, just at the end of the day, it just didn't work out. Bobby Okereke. I'm ready to say Bobby Okereke is not a fit for this defense, and they should have looked into trading this guy. You know, whether that be for a 6th round pick or something. I don't know what, but Bobby Okereke is not a fit for this defense, and he looks very uncomfortable. He just does not look good at all in his defense, and it's showing up in the run game. The corners are getting obliterated in the run game, and it's just not a fun job. Where Okereke was cleaning things up last year, he just is not doing this year. Micah McFadden is by far the best linebacker on this team, and the only thing that Bobby really gives you is the ability to force some of these fumbles. But other than that, he is really struggling. He's not the same player in this defense, so it shows you how important defensive schemes are for the success of some of these players. Um, I'm not really missing much of anything. Listen, number 1 pick, here we come. Cam Ward, give me Cam Ward, give me Shedeur Sanders. If we're in one of those top 2 picks, I will have done my duty of having to suffer through another season as a Giants fan. And I think this is going to turn around pretty quickly once we get the right quarterback in place. Will we be like Jaden Daniels and the Commanders? I hope so, but I doubt it. But I do think that this can turn around within a couple years if we can get the right quarterback in place. And to do that, I think we have to have as high a pick as possible. So I'm not rooting for us to lose. If you can watch my stream in real time, I was trying to win. I'm trying to win the game. I'm ready to win the game. I'm excited when we make plays. I'm trying to win. But once the smoke is clear, once the game field goal got kicked, I'm like, listen, it might be for the best. So shout out to everybody for sticking with us Giants YouTubers throughout this season and through the past couple of years, because this has not been fun being a Giants fan. So appreciate y'all sticking with us. Appreciate y'all for sticking with me. And we got, 7-8 more weeks of this. We got to make it through. And hopefully help is coming soon. Hopefully the help is coming soon.